Every night at 2:47 a.m., the cameras went dark, just for 3 minutes, 3 minutes of complete blackness, and when they came back on, someone was always missing. This is the story of the night shift killer, a case that should never have happened, a killer who should never have existed, but the 23 victims would tell you otherwise, if they could. I'm Midnight True Crimes, and tonight we're diving into one of the most terrifying fictional cases ever documented. This story will chill you to your core. It will make you question every shadow, every night shift, every moment you're alone, because sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that feel too real. Let's begin. Ashwood, a small town in the Pacific Northwest, population 8,000. St. Catherine's Hospital was the town's largest employer, a sprawling 5-story building built in 1952 with long corridors that seemed to stretch into darkness. Most of the hospital operated normally during the day, but the night shift was different. The graveyard shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., was staffed by a skeleton crew. Literally, just enough people to keep the lights on and patients breathing. Nurses, orderlies, security guards, janitors, alone in the dark hallways, walking through shadows, checking on sleeping patients. And that's when it started. March 15, 2019. Nurse Sarah Chen was working the night shift in the pediatric ward. At 2:30 a.m., she radioed security that she was doing her rounds on the 4th floor. Everything was normal. At 2:47 a.m., the security cameras in the 4th floor corridor went dark, complete blackout. At 2:50 a.m., they flickered back on. Sarah Chen was gone. Her medication cart was in the hallway, her clipboard on the floor, her phone still in her pocket left behind on the nurse's station counter. But Sarah vanished. The search began immediately. Every room, every closet, every storage area. Nothing. No signs of struggle, no blood, no screams heard by anyone, just gone. Security thought it was a one-time incident, a nurse who snapped and ran away. Maybe a breakdown, maybe a personal crisis. But then it happened again. April 3rd, orderly Marcus Webb, same floor, same time, 2:47 a.m. Cameras went dark for 3 minutes. He was gone when they came back on. May 12th, security guard David Ortega, 3rd floor this time, 2:47 a.m., 3 minutes of darkness. Gone, June 8th, janitor Elena Rodriguez, 2nd floor, 2:47 a.m. exactly. Disappeared. 4 people in 4 months, all during the night shift, all at exactly 2:47 a.m., all during the same 3-minute camera blackout. The hospital administration tried to keep it quiet. Employee turnover, they said. People quitting without notice. But the night shift workers knew better. They called him the night shift killer, and they were terrified. Detective Rachel Morgan was assigned to the case after the 4th disappearance. She was skeptical at first. 4 missing people, sure, but a serial killer in a hospital seemed unlikely. Then she reviewed the security footage. Every single time, 2:47 a.m., the cameras would flicker once, twice, then complete darkness, static, nothing, for exactly 3 minutes. Then they'd come back on and someone would be missing from the hallway they'd been walking down just moments before. Morgan interviewed everyone. Nurses, doctors, patients, visitors. No one saw anything. No one heard anything. It was like these people were being erased from existence. Morgan developed 3 theories. Theory 1. Inside job, someone on staff was responsible. Someone who knew the camera system. Someone who could move through the hospital undetected. But every staff member had alibis. Every single one. They were all accounted for during the disappearances. Theory 2. Technical glitch. The cameras were malfunctioning at the exact same time someone was kidnapping hospital workers. But it confirmed the system was fine. No glitches. No explanation for the blackouts. Theory 3. Something else, something Morgan didn't want to consider. Something that didn't make rational sense. Because the more she investigated, the more impossible it all seemed. How do you kidnap someone in 3 minutes? How do you move them through a crowded hospital without being seen? How do you do it 5 times without leaving a single trace of evidence? Unless you're not human. Segment 3. The Witness, July 15, 2019. A patient, Timothy Bradford, recovering from surgery on the 4th floor, came forward with information. He'd been awake during one of the disappearances. Couldn't sleep. Pain medication wearing off. He heard footsteps in the hallway, slow, deliberate, heavy. Then he heard a voice, a nurse asking, "Can I help you?" Then silence. Then he said he heard something else. Something he couldn't quite explain, a sound like whispering, multiple voices overlapping, speaking words he couldn't understand. And then the lights went out. When they came back on 3 minutes later, he pressed his call button frantically. Another nurse was missing. Bradford's testimony changed everything because he described the footsteps. He said they didn't sound like shoes on linoleum. They sounded wet.
Subscribe to Midnight True Crimes and don't miss